Hey everybody, Sean at Superbike Showroom in Rancho Cordova, California, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about my favorite thing, dirt bikes. There's a whole bunch of different sizes to pick from, and if you're a beginner and you're not sure what to get, I'm just going to give you the basic explanation of what's what. So this is a 125 two-stroke. If you can see other bikes behind, it's the same size. This is full size. When you tell someone about a 125, everybody usually thinks, if they're a new rider, that it's a small bike. This is full size in every way. It's for adults to ride. Generally, a teenager or someone skinny, someone not very heavy, maybe 150 pounds or under, that's going to be ideal. It's good for a lady. You know, it's not quite as heavy. These are about 200-pound bikes. So if you drop it, it's easy to pick up. It's not going to wear you out. It's not going to be so fast and so hard to hold on to when you're on the throttle. But there's a lot of power there. It's a little tiny piston, moves around really fast, and when you're full throttle, there's all the power you'd ever need. If you're above 200 pounds, probably not the right thing, but I'm anywhere from 180 to 190, and these will haul me around really well. It's actually one of the most fun bikes in my opinion. KTM and Husky, they make a 150 variety, pretty much the same bike, just a little bit bigger piston. But anyway, this is going to be for maybe a teenager that's stepping up from a 85 or a 150 big wheel Honda. This would be a good first full-size bike. Maybe if you're a lady that's aggressive, that wants something that's not too heavy, this would be good. Also as a training tool, maybe you ride a full-size bike, but you want something that's going to teach you a little bit more aggression. If you ride this bike hard, it's going to reward you. So that's a couple people this might be a good fit for. All right, now we got 250 four-strokes, commonly referred to as a 250F. Got a couple different varieties. We got a Yamaha and a gas. This Yamaha is a YZ250F. This is a motocross bike, so the power delivery is going to be very aggressive. It doesn't come with a kickstand. It's got a little bit smaller gas tank. It is electric start because it's a pretty new model. This is a 2019. This is going to have more torque, more low-end power than the 125 for sure. But when you're full throttle, it's not overwhelming. This is good for a really, really broad range of people. A brand new beginner could ride this thing. Somebody that's experienced, that's a racer, might go faster on this bike than they would on a 250 two-stroke or on a 450, because you can actually ride it a little bit more to its capabilities. You know, you can actually be full throttle on this thing and not be overwhelmed. This gas behind me, this is the EX model. Same thing with Husqvarna and KTM. They have the motocross model, then they also have an off-road variety. So this is going to have a little bit bigger gas tank. It's going to have an 18-inch rim in the back instead of a 19, so the tire is a little bit taller, which allows you to run lower air pressure, you know, get over rocks and tree roots and stuff a little bit easier. Pretty much the same motorcycle. It doesn't have any emissions equipment. Still a race bike, still a competition bike, just bigger gas tank. It comes with a kickstand. It's got a different size back wheel, a little bit better for trail riding, and a little softer, more plush suspension. All right, now we're off to 350. So a couple different varieties that we'd carry here at Superbike Showroom. This is a 350 dual sport. You can get this in a Husqvarna or KTM version. So this is basically equivalent of a green sticker bike, but you get a license plate. So you can go anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're camping, you need to hop on the highway, get somewhere, or you maybe live a couple miles from the riding area. This way you don't have to load it up in your pickup truck. 350 is going to be plenty of power for pretty much any size person. So if you're a heavier guy, you're a lighter person, anybody can ride this bike. It's not overwhelmingly powerful. The power is really smooth, but some people do feel that a 250 four-stroke leaves a little bit to be desired. I've really never heard that about anybody talking about a 350 being too slow. In the professional levels or in the vet class like I race, so anyone over 30 or over 40, you just race by your age class. It doesn't matter what size bike. There are a lot of people that prefer the 350. They think that the power and the weight ratio is just about as good as it gets. So we got a dual sport variety that you can ride anywhere. And then we got a couple of motocross varieties, and you can get these in gas, KTM, or Husqvarna. The dual sport is going to just give you a little bit more opportunity to get anywhere you need to go and not have to worry about what sticker or what regulation that particular riding area's got. Okay, next one we got up is a 250 two-stroke. So this is very similar full throttle power to a 350, much more power than a 250 four-stroke. It does tend to have a very aggressive power delivery, so this is not something that's going to be for a new rider. This would be a good second or third bike once you got some experience. Biggest benefit of something like this is how light it is. This is super lightweight compared to a 4-stroke, but you still get a lot of full throttle power, something like 50 horsepower or more. So super lightweight. There's different varieties, like I explained with the 250F. You're going to have motocross model, you're going to have off-road model, different wheels, different size gas tanks, that kind of stuff. But a lot of power when you want it. I actually like these bikes for trail riding because when they're at low RPM, they're actually easier to handle than a 4-stroke. So not too many people would tell you that they wanted to buy a 252-stroke because it was slow. That's actually the situation I was in recently. The last race season, I had a 252-stroke, and when you need the power and you really get on it, it's going to give you everything you need. But when you're tired and you want to just cruise around at low RPM, if you have a little slip up on your wrist, it doesn't have so much low-end power that it's going to be out of control and going to yank your arms back and out of your hands and stuff like that. So 252-stroke, great for motocross, great for enduro. They don't stall as much as the 4-strokes. Pretty much all around, these are awesome, but not for a first-time rider. All right, so here we got a Honda CRF 450R. These bikes just won the motocross championship. This is what Jet Lawrence is riding. They're really popular for vet riders, so older guys that maybe don't have the same corner speed that you used to. You got a tabletop or a jump that's right out of the corner, you just hit the throttle and it's going to do anything you need. It's a bit overwhelming for a new rider, probably easier to ride if you're a bigger guy who want to get into riding and you don't want to have to buy an entry-level bike, something slow like a TTR 230 or something that's really beginner friendly. If you want to just hop on something and get a full-size bike and you were a bigger, heavier guy, this would probably be easier for you to handle than the 250 two-stroke. You can ride gear tall, so it's called short shifting. So if you are a little intimidated by how powerful it is, you just shift into second gear and kind of pretend first doesn't exist. Shift into third gear a little sooner than normal. That's going to keep the RPMs lower, and this has got tons of power. It's going to tractor right out of pretty much any situation. But for motocross and for clear and jumps right out of the corner without even needing big corner speed, these are awesome. Really popular in over-the-hill gang motocross racing, and like I said, if you're a bigger, heavier guy that wants to trail ride and you want a lot of power that's smooth and easy to predict, 450 is going to give that to you. All right, so last one we got here, this is a 500 EXC KTM. This is pretty much the pinnacle of the baddest dual sport that you can buy. So it's 500 cc, it's a wide ratio 6-speed. This bike is going to be very capable of going 100 miles an hour or so on the highway. Not that you need to go 100 miles an hour, but if you're riding something on the highway and traffic's going 75, let's say, if your bike only goes 80 or 85, you're going to feel bad for it. You're just going to be cruising along and the RPMs are too high and you're going to end up blowing a head gasket or something. So these bikes have an incredible top speed so that when you are trying to go highway speed, they feel comfortable. They feel like they belong out there. It's not much heavier than the non-dual sport model. So this is pretty much the exact same bike as the XCW, which is KTM's green sticker version. I've never really understood why somebody wouldn't just want to go for the XC to get the license plate, because it opens up the door for more opportunities. You might just want to go around the corner, get a beer at 7-Eleven. You might want to see your buddy. You might be camping and you just want to go in town, get a breakfast burrito. You can do anything on an EXC. This is the best dual sport that anybody makes right now. Come on down.
Okay, Jeff.